Hello everyone and welcome to another World of Warplanes review. This time we'll be taking a look at the Tier 5 British light fighter, the Spitfire 1. Stick around, we'll take a look at the stats in the hangar and then we'll move on to this cracker of a battle. Hope to see you there. Okay, so here's the Spitfire 1. What was it like in real life? What was its role in real life? Well, it was one of the most used British fighters of the war. Throughout the entire war, it was continuously upgraded, and need I say more? It was incredibly famous. Let's see. Does the description tell us how many were made? No. Okay, but it was first flown March 1938. So there you go. And it was flown throughout the entire war. It was used after the war. It was probably one of the most manufactured planes ever. So super famous plane. But how does it perform in the game? Well, most people say it's incredibly powerful. But let's see what Wargaming has to say about this plane. Wargaming notes that the machine gun and autocannon armament effective in close combat. I would 100% agree with that. If you can get like 500 to 1,000 feet behind your opponent and start pulling the trigger, they'll be dead in a second. Like, I'm not even exaggerating, they'll just die. So you have, for the armament, you have two 20mm Hispano Mark IIs and one four .303 Browning machine guns. So yeah, it does have a lot of firepower. That's 6 guns in all. Let's see if I can find them all. Okay, yeah, I think you got like 1, 2, 3, 4 of those little machine guns, and you have two 20mm, one there and one there. So they're all wing mounted, which means that it is more effective close combat. But this plane will shred enemy planes very quickly. Low survivability, it's a light fighter, expect that. Good airspeed and boost, it's got 8 seconds boost. It's what you'd expect from a light fighter, nothing exceptional. High maneuverability in horizontal turns, absolutely. Really, the only planes that are more maneuverable are the Japanese. That's what it comes down to. This plane is incredibly maneuverable. Uh, and effective in mid-altitude maneuvering combat. Yeah, I'd say that it performs higher than the Japanese planes. So higher than the Japanese Zero, and maybe higher than some of the Soviet fighters, maybe. But overall, it it's not going to compete with any German plane or anything like that. It's okay, so I guess if you consider it mid like that, I'd say more it's closer to low altitude is where it performs best. Um, but yeah, that's really about it. It's a very maneuverable plane that excels at destroying planes in close quarters combat. That's what you need to know from this plane. It's got a Merlin 20 engine, 2,363 horsepower. It's pretty good. Yeah, basically get right behind your enemy, or right behind the enemy, and just lay into them. What equipment modules should you put on there? Well, put the improved reflector gun sight on, because accuracy. If you don't have bombs and rockets, which this plane does not, put that on there. It's always a necessity. It's 100% important. I put self-sealing fuel tanks on this because I don't like carrying fire extinguishers. So I put these on because I don't like having terrible aiming or terrible accuracy. I don't like having my engine knocked out. I like being able to use boost, and I hate having decreased maneuverability. So I understand that, you know, fires are annoying and they'll eat away at your hit points, and they might damage a module or something, but they're less annoying than having your maneuverability impaired or your boost impaired or something like that. So I just go with self-sealing fuel tanks because it reduces the damage of fire by 50% and reduces the chance of getting set on fire in the first place by 50%. So that's not bad. I'm good with that. And then increased maneuverability in all axes. This plane is super maneuverable. That's what I put on there. Of course, you know, the only one that I'd say you have to have is the improved reflector sight 1. Other than that, set it up to the way that you want. So, like if you prefer having a fire extinguisher, maybe you'll put on the control surfaces adjustment instead of the self-sealing fuel tanks. But, you know, it's whatever you choose. One other thing to note, let's see. I always go with standard paint shop. I do want to make a note of this because it is something that I really enjoy having. There's a free camouflage, which is awesome. Free camouflage doesn't give any extra concealment, but it makes it look cool. I like it. And also, if you have a beta sticker or something, you can stick that on your plane on this one. I don't know why they don't have it for every plane. That makes no sense and it drives me crazy. But this one you're able to put a beta sticker on, or alpha sticker, or whatever you have. Let's look at my crew. He's not anything exceptional, because I don't really have a British crew yet. But here's my pilot for this one. Going down Marksman 1 and Marksman 2. Those are my first two skills because accuracy. I will go on and on and on about accuracy. The more accuracy you have, the more shots you'll hit, the more damage you'll do, the less enemies will be in the sky, and the longer you will be in the air to fight. Always try to improve your accuracy. After that, do whatever. Choose whatever one suits you best. They're all good in their own way. So, yeah. I think that about covers it. Let's look at the firing range. Yeah, it's ideal at low, does maximum damage under 1,400 feet. So, yep, I think that's about it. Let's jump into the gameplay. Alright, so here's the replay. The first thing you should notice is there's an airbase in the middle and 2 garrisons on the outside. At least I think those were garrisons. But in either case, airfield center, you always go for it. There's very few exceptions to that rule. Typically, if you see an airfield in the center, just take the airfield. Yes, those other 2 were garrisons. So we're just going to sit on the airfield because taking the airfield will allow us to respawn there, and it's an actual airfield, so we'll be able to repair ourselves as well and have shorter cooldown times when we respawn. So that is absolutely the most valuable sector on the board. Now our team is asking where to go, and we all kind of unanimously say go to the center. So that's why you see our entire team going to the center. This is fantastic. This is great teamwork. I don't know how we got the bots to go there too, but the bots are even following us. And as you see, the enemy team has a bunch of planes too. So this is definitely a valuable sector. I took down a air defense plane because it was right in front of me, but now I'm going to try to shoot down red planes because those are more dangerous. We took the airfield already, so great job team. You guys did great. We took down the AR, got someone on my tail. I spin, look how quickly I can get away. He took a huge chunk of damage, or amount of hit points from me, but we'll flip around on him. And this is a little bit too far for the guns to be working super well. I mean, of course I'm still hitting, but you want to get closer than that. You'll kill planes a lot quicker if you get closer. So as you can see, even though I'm in range, I'm not really firing at that guy until you get closer, because your guns aren't as effective 2,000 feet away. You want to be about 1,300 feet away maximum when you're firing your guns, unless they're very low health. So as you can see, I'm holding my fire because the guns do overheat rather quickly. So I got close, we got an assist, and I'm just staying here. Now I have a little bit of break. There's a little bit of a break right now. So I want to try to go and repair myself, but I see this Blenheim come right by. Might as well shoot him. He's right there. And he's alone, so I'll try to kill him. Wait until I get a little bit closer. And now it's a good time to fire. Come on. Oh, I think this replay was giving me a little bit issues in the sense that, or not the replay, but the battle. My mouse runs on batteries, and sometimes the mouse just was not firing when I clicked it. So I could have had that kill, but my mouse was not working. Doesn't matter. We still kill him. The repair base has healed me a little bit. I just realized that. Here comes a 0. And yeah, he's dead. Who's next? We gotta look for someone. Bristol. Notice the maneuverability on this plane, and I'm getting really close. But once you find your aim and you get close enough, you just shred the enemy. They just die super fast. It does seem to me like this plane does best against fighters and multi-roles. It does destroy attack planes pretty well, but not as well as some other planes. So you really want to focus on killing fighters, and don't even bother shooting bombers. They're too high. They're too high of your altitude, and you'll just be like swimming in a bowl of soup at that altitude. So just don't try to go up to that altitude. Here's a 0 again. Got major contribution. That was kind of sucked. Should have been my kill. Alright, going for the XP-44. I'm only 1,000 feet away from him, and so I'm shredding him. He gets about 1,200 feet away, and it gets a little bit harder for me to hit him. Turn around on this BF-109E because he's a human player, so gotta kill him. A Spitfire, he's also a human player. Almost killed him. We're at grade 3 fighter already. Here comes a heavy, another light fighter. Let's go for light fighters if we can, because the heavy fighters are a little bit too fast for this plane. If the heavy fighter is using boom and zoom, you don't worry about trying to catch them, trying to shoot down fighters. But here comes, let's see, no, don't worry about the bomber. There's 2 bombers and the heavy, so I guess I'm going for the heavy right now. It's gonna be a little bit tricky though, because he is pretty high. He's kind of stalling right now though, so I am hitting a decent amount of shots. And we take him out. Notice how I'm not going anywhere but this airfield, because the airfield is the most important, and the enemy team knows it's very important, so they just keep throwing their planes at me over and over and over again. It doesn't matter. I'll still knock them out. Just try to hold the airfield as long as you possibly can. That's the main thing. The 109E is in again, so let's see if we can take him out. Yep. Well, we got assistance. Well, that stinks. Going for the Bristol. 1,000 feet. We will shred him once we land the target. Also notice how the guns on this plane overheat rather quickly. And that's one thing to keep in mind. I know there's a pilot skill that reduces your guns overheating after you get a kill and increases the accuracy. And that's maybe a skill that you'd want to try to get in this plane. But I just prefer having accuracy all the time, and I just kind of deal with the overheating. But that's one thing to keep in mind, that the guns do overheat quickly, and it's ideal. That's why I'm waiting till I know I'll get a large amount of my shots to be hitting before I pull the trigger. But then once my guns do overheat, I turn off the trigger. And even though I can shoot them right then, I didn't. I waited a little bit. I'm waiting a little bit longer to let my weapons cool down even more. And now we have supremacy. So now the battle's basically over.
Victory is in sight.
the battle's just going to be over very, very quickly. Which is kind of a shame. I didn't really want to get supremacy, but that just goes to show you the importance of taking the center. We held the center. They never were able to take the center. All their planes were going to the center, and so taking the other points were easy. They were undefended. But yeah, also, don't fight, like what I said earlier, don't fire your guns continuously. Wait till you have a decent amount, but we're at maximum supremacy, so I just wanted to try to get some extra damage. This was a fantastic game. Rank 1, I don't know what that medal is with the bird, but it's for killing multi-role planes. I don't remember how many multi-rolls, but, you know, shooting down multi-rolls. Very, very quick battle, but 21,000 combat points in just that short amount of time. That's the potential of this plane. Right up close, pull the trigger, end them very quickly. I actually did not get a ton of experience that battle, just because it was too short. I didn't have enough time to get enough mastery points, so I only had 1,100 mastery points. We got Hunt for Falcon, we got Conquer for 450 capture points in a single battle, Max in Sector Defense, Marseille for 17 aerial targets and 1 sortie, Ace for 20 kills, Akamutsi for 400 capture points, Winged Legend for 1400, Guardian, and Max Destruction of aerial targets, or something like that. Anyway, this was a very good battle. I normally don't want to play this plane just because it is very powerful, and I have a lot of planes I'm trying to get experience on, as you can see at the bottom. I still, as you can see, I was about 3,000–4,000 experience away this battle from getting max, or from getting the next plane in the tier. So that's why I was playing it. I'll probably have the Spitfire 5 after I'm done playing today. But as of that battle, I was still trying to get experience for the Spitfire, and I got a really good battle in it. So what do I think about this plane? It's very good. Any of the Spitfires are very, very good, and I hate facing them. They're very, very strong. Do I recommend getting it? Absolutely. Just make sure that, because these guns overheat so quickly, I see too many Spitfire players just hold the trigger well past their guns overheating, and they're doing no damage to me. So that's definitely a way you're not supposed to be playing this plane. You make sure you have good shots at close range, 1,000 feet or less. Ideally, pull the trigger, and if your shots aren't hitting, just release the trigger and wait till you have a more clean shot. That way your gun doesn't overheat. And you'll add to the surprise factor, because if you wait until you get a target lined up perfectly, and then you pull the trigger, it'll give them less time to react to getting shot, and they'll die a lot easier. So definitely, I recommend doing that. And that's about it for the Spitfire, really. It's a great maneuvering plane with good guns. Not super high altitude performance, but doesn't matter because most things of that tier don't fly super high anyway. Yeah. If you guys have replays, please send it in. I've got, if it has to be about 20,000 combat points for me to post it, but I would love to have your replays. I'll put a link in the description for Shrike Gaming's video on recording software that he uses, if you want to know how to record World of Warplanes replays. But if you do a plane that I don't have, or is just a really good battle in general, I'll put it on there, probably do it as a review, because I kind of know how the plane flies, even though I haven't played it potentially. But yeah, please send in replays, and have a great day.